to get everything that they really need to take.
Both dropping in onto Yasnaya. Still surprised that I don't even think there have been any shots at each other, really. We haven't heard too much of commotion in that area. I know we touched on this just last game, so I'm going to stop repeating our content. But there's Raffi grabbing a vehicle.
New exclusive content.
Exactly,
even though these guys are doing the exact same thing every single game. But you see Knights in their standard position. You do see Divine doing the Milta power split and Ghost still calling Milta home. Victory 5 actually getting a little bit close to Milta there. They're starting to get a little brave, going a little farther towards the east, to the eastern part of the farm here.
Genji up in Novo. Good job landing here.
And Secret also actually very split up. They were landing Ferry Pier and kind of looting around that area, but you can see them a little bit farther north and actually in circle. Meanwhile, Vega having military all to themselves. These guys need to get something done. We saw that awesome feature just in the last break here with Max Izor being the sniper. But you know, I have to agree with Avenger. I think that they are suffering from that loss of 54th, at least recently. Kippy the Slayer doing his best to provide a replacement for that, but they have not seemed to really make things click consistently just yet throughout this tournament. Yeah,
I think there are still 4 games left.
Yeah.
What was it? Around like 2K, maybe just under, maybe just over for being guaranteed top 8.
Ooh, guaranteed is such a harsh word.
Yeah, sure, but
but it seems like a reasonable.
It's a reasonable
look right there.
Yeah, obviously
2,000, 2,100 points.
Ooh.
You'll feel pretty good.
Oh, I was gonna say some shots there, but a quick U-turn.
Well, elite player needs to be careful because this is what we've been talking about.
U-turn by Victory 5, but McCoy wants this. Nope, that might he's playing right too. Okay, all right, that's fine. We're good. Whoop, everything. Attack diverted. Successful take by M19, but now McCoy is kind of left out in the open, driving through multiple teams and line of sight still from M19. Oh, don't hit the rock. Okay, I think he's good.
He does have a squad mate just behind him in Elajan. Ghost trying to get these early rotates out of Milta into the center of the circle. They did it last game by sending one player. They kind of trickle in essentially rather than going as a 4-man. They're sending 1 and 2. They didn't have to pay for it last game, fortunately, but they do need to be careful because, as we talked about before, the likelihood of getting crashed when you're a solo is so extremely high in this lobby.
Another M249. We've been seeing a lot of these past 2 games, I suppose, and for a bit overall.
Look like a big old swamp monster. And that's Benchu. Benchu, it's very fortunate that ghillie suit dropped in Benchu's side because that man is swole. He is a large human. Not going to try to arm wrestle him anytime soon, but it's fortunate that he found a ghillie suit that fits around his massive biceps. The Tainted Minds finding a nice little come up there before going to, looks like they're heading back towards the location they previously occupied in the previous game.
Yeah, they loot up around the school area, and so it's already central enough. It's just an easy leapfrog onto wherever else they want to go. It's a good spot in the very beginning. Divine, JJ Leo running over himself. I don't know if his teammates are close. Yeah, okay, so he's got some following up, so he is going to get picked up. WTSG on their own rotation, trying to find a different spot. Last time they wrapped north of the river, but this specific circle they decided to come in a little further south, going past X-Quest into the area around ruins. Here it is. Divine Nikki is going to be picking up JJ Leo while the car slowly rolls down the hill. Someone forgot to put their parking brake on, but luckily Nikki can just outrun that, easily hop inside.
And see, Nikki even being a good guy, not throwing the laughing emote before sticking the res. So 17, or Team Divine, all about business today. No emotes for you, sir.
Yeah, they are. Well,
you get rezzed and you know, I don't know. I'm wagging my finger at them. I don't know what a good way to how to translate that across audio.
Lectures.
Shocks.
Hey,
yeah, lecture.
It's a bike though. But what's also a bike is what Bahawaka is riding, and Benchu with that M249 trying to get the spray down. Only lands a single shot, but he's got a crossfire with Jukesy and then potentially Extreme 2G if he gets in the position. Pulls out Mini 14.
It's a pretty ballsy rotate there by Optic, considering they know that Tainted Minds loots that area and they loot Razak. you know, they're driving pretty close to him.
Seemed to work out for them, though.
Yeah, this time it did, fortunately. They had to go there to get to center.
Secret driving through a field. LSN for Victory 5 trying to get the shot on him. Uba's also driving past, going the opposite direction. But Divine and M19, they're coming across each other. A 1-for-1 trade. Elite Player is still in the building. I think there's only 2 for M19, though. It's just Elite Player versus 2 of Divine. He's dropping a smoke to delay any push up the steps while he heals up. I don't know if he's going to be able to get a revive on a Constantine. If Divine push into the building, that's going to be that player finished, and I think that's about to happen because Jet is already inside. Lev is going to be coming into the kitchen as well.
All right, Elite Player, this is your opportunity. Let's see what you got. You've taken out one of them already. You're getting pushed. What can you what can you do with that AK?
Ooh, the other 2 members of M19 wanted to come in and support, but they actually got deterred because Knights were in a position to third-party that, and that's going to be both players in that compound taken out by M19. They're now down to 2. Divine, they did lose 1, but a successful take of a compound.
Yep, these are the crashes that you were talking about, and now you can see the last 2 remaining players for M19 very split up here. Just to the north.
True to form. Down to 2. Gonna stay split. Okay, we say that example. Looks like he's getting on his bike and wants to group up. Taking the yellows just outside of the apartment, which is a very risky spot, and especially this rotation. A couple of shots. Example taken down a little bit. But JJ Leo, he also knows that Knights is just above him. Wants to put a little pressure back onto them, but this is going to be the 2 players of M19 successfully sticking together this time.
And here is the shack that will be the center of every circle from this point forward. Calling it now. They can't hold this down though. This is a good position to hold down as a duo.
Yeah.
I mean, there's enough sight lines around it. You can kind of see anybody coming towards you in plenty of time to get the shots out. But again, as we've talked about, these teams are crashing as 4-man.
Yeah.
They're not wasting any time
it's
about it.
It's not just that. My problem with the compound is that trying to leave it is almost impossible because it's just open area around you. You got the apartments to your left, you got the hill down to the south, you have a couple of compounds to the east and the north and the east.
Well, they're not going to have to leave it. It's going to
true. Yes, you're right.
Center of the circle
you're right.
from
That's
the rest
true.
of the game.
Voxic actually trying to lay some shots through. Not going to land too many of them just yet, but it's relatively simple right now. We have a little bit of action I'm seeing on the map northwest, but again, it's not really much. This is outside of Divine stealing the compound away from M19, other than that, it's actually another standard beginning game. You got Method rolling in just past X-Quest. Method did send a couple of shots their way, but they didn't want to commit too heavily into that X-Quest. Easy rotation away. It looks like this is a split by X-Quest because they got 2 up on the Georgia Pole Mountain and then 2 of them riding north of Rozhok, perhaps going to be coming in just north of Subslayer if they're not going to go all the way to Yasnaya. But this is a wide split by them. This is not a split that you're helping each other out. This is very much we are hedging our bets.
Yeah, that's 100% what it is. They're splitting up. They're trying to say, okay, whoever can get into the late game, just try to get us as many placement points as you can. We'll try to pick up kills wherever we can. But X-Quest, after coming in on our first day with back-to-back wins in Game 1 and 2 on Miramar, have really been struggling since then. Right now, they're just trying to get points any way they can. Here's another care package and another M249.
Yeah, exactly. This one's going to be picked up by Victory 5. Definitely a good pick up by them. After just last game, finally being the last Chinese team to fall out of top 8. That's a really big talking point, I think.
No,
at the end of day 2, not just X-Quest, but also Victory 5, as well as 17 Gaming were in the top 5, but then coming into like after the first game of day number 4, now all 3 of them are out. So
game 1 could not have gone worse for Victory 5, going out first essentially.
X-Quest
they do have. I mean, they have to kind of rally from this point on, and they are kind of doing this 2-2 split again. Again, it looks like another one of those. Oh, look at that
It works
circle.
for X-Quest, talking about hedging bets, the one on the north side, and they actually rotate immediately north. Still a good spot, but this circle with the river cutting through is going to cause some interesting decisions by the teams.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to make the decision at this point. Do you go north or south of the river? If you go north, there's a very limited amount of positions of power to hold north of that river, so you need to get there quickly. But it looks like everybody's opting to go towards the south here.
At least Method are. They ended last circle north of that river. They want to go down and quickly take that warehouse just above Rozhok. It can be a key point, gives you lots of good sight lines. But again, it's one of those compounds that retreat is almost impossible. But Divine pushing in again on another compound. This one's going to be on the Knights. Jet taken very low, wants to heal up. He has support coming through. Levis can't hold the angle. It's Krema running up those stairs, landing those shots. And so Levin is taken down. And I think Divine are now just down to 2. Still holding the angle. Run through. Voxic has to pull away. It's actually going to be Krema taken down. JJ Leo is going to flush that kill as well. Voxic still left in the compound. Teammates aren't in a position to support them. Support him, I should say, because he did just lose his teammate there.
But look at this. I mean, Divine just constantly pushing these compounds. They're getting nicked every single time, losing a player here, a player there. At the end, they're hurting Knights. They are hurting M19.
Yeah.
You know, what do you do here?
I mean, but they keep losing players, though, so how long are they going to be able to keep doing this? Sure, they're dealing a little bit of damage to some other teams, but if this attrition keeps happening towards them, just barely avoiding that grenade down to maybe, what is this, 15 health. Tries to get in the vehicle to roll away, but the fence is in the way just in time for JJ Leo to run around the side, and that's the Knights now down to 2 as well.
Oh, he was hoping that maybe that fence would give way as soon as he hit the gas, but it just did not happen. And now Navi finding 17 Gaming. Trying to going into the water. What is this? Early access?
No, I think this is
like 3 patches ago.
This is another instance of 17 Gaming trying to bomb center and the spot already be taken, and so they have no choice. And well, it's only 47 Gamer. They send one at a time.
Yeah.
All the other players are still in other positions. Shox here by himself. You can see off in the distance, and I believe that's on top of the water tower, are the other 2 players of 17 Gaming. That's not rather in the water. 47 Gamer in a rough spot is finally taken out by X-Chris, and that's going to be an easy finish for them. So 7 points going for Method. A good pickup after last game.
That was always going to happen.
Yeah.
So to 47 Gamer there. Fortunately for Method, they are the ones to benefit off of those 7 points. So you can see everybody opting for this south side of the river, with the exception of 2 members of X-Quest. We might have Secret trying to make a cheeky long rotate here towards the north side. They want to play it a little bit safe.
I'm liking this call by them. It seemed like they were pretty far south, and instead of having to drive through everyone else, a wall of teams make it up. They would make the long rotation around. You see similar rotations being employed by, most notably, at least to me, Team Liquid and Envy. And it looks like they're going to be chiming in as well, and it's going to be successful. The problem is if they then have to go back across the river.
Right.
But again, better than going blind through the forest and the hills south of school into a place that is likely already held by other teams.
Exactly, and we could see Gen G was also holding down the very southeastern part of the circle, playing the edge as they have been doing at least the last couple of games here. Ghost picking up this spot that Gen G had earlier. Got a lot of sight lines here. We saw what Gen G can do with those sightlines last time. Secret does find Navi. Pokemolidoy might have been, they might have been considering going a little bit north here as well.
Yeah, it's just Pokemolidoy who's across the river. The other 3 members are still on the garage compound that pushed, well, it was one of the 2 teams that pushed 47 Gamer into the water. But Poka maybe up here just in case it does go north of the river, or just to get a different sightline crossfire set up with his teammates. Secret is avoiding him, though, but he actually is sending some shots that way. But Method versus Navi. Little shots back and forth towards each other.
Method needs to be careful here. Optic has been holding down the southern part of Razak. They're a little bit spread out, but they don't look. They look like they might be a little bit concerned about where Method is right now. Might want to have to push into this, but they don't look like they want it just yet. New circle has popped and is going to go west. They still have a 50-50 though, Cam.
It's rather northeast.
Oh, yeah.
Not exactly west, but
my cardinal directions have just been absolutely...
Talking to the Australians too much, things get flipped.
It's true.
Simpson's rotating through past M19. Now M19 have to leave, and they actually have to be on the same vehicle, too. Ooh, Chelter wants to just spin on these guys, but no, he wants to keep on his own rotation. It's not worth it. M19, rather than going dead center, they're wrapping around. It's definitely the good call for them. Divine, they're in a spot to try and punish rotations, but they're not exactly landing. This circle, though, is going to be rough for a lot of teams because it's a large part of the lake as well as the river is going to cut off a lot of potential area control, potential compounds to try and hide out, or even hills. Another M249.
Why not?
Come on.
Why not?
WTSG also on their own rotation, going past school, Luckily, no one here in apartments. Tainted Minds only holding up the actual school building itself. I'm surprised we haven't seen any more downs yet on these rotations, but we still have a couple teams trying to make their way inside. Vega here stopping for a quick sec, just dropping Maxazor back on his bike before they wrap up this time to the left. Extreme2G does finally find one onto Simzen.
We do have a ton more teams heading north now. You see Navi, Victory 5, 17, Method, Secret, all of them opting to go north of the river here. XQuest still have the split.
Look at this fight, though. Vega, they're pushing in onto school, all four, and it's just Juxi and Benchu left to defend. Benchu does have the M249, and so Close Range is going to rip him apart, and that's exactly what he does. Gets it down onto Kemba, doesn't commit, though, because he knows Kemba has teammates just at his back. Slow push by Vega. They want to figure out where everyone is, but Juxi's going to come in for the assist. Peeking in through the window. Actually has a frag grenade prepped. Trying to finish that off. Throw it around the corner. A frag from Vega, though, is going to kind of delay him or give him second thoughts. But no, the second one, it may land directly onto Vega and Kimpy. And that is going to be the case. Kemba is taken down. Kippy is dropped as well, making this a potential 2 versus 2. No, it's a 2 versus 1 because Maxazor is also dropped. It's just Vampire Game left. Trying to vault in through that window. It's not working. Don't worry, he's coming in from a different direction.
Oh, now he's creep walking. He doesn't want to give his position away just yet, but Tainted Minds has to know that they have the advantage in this fight right now. You can see Juxi still playing the outside of the wall here. He's going to leave this one to Benchu. I'm not sure if they know exactly where Vampire Game is.
I don't think so.
They know they killed 3.
He's just hiding out.
They knew that there was 4 here, though.
They know someone's alive. Whether he's here or not, you're right, could be a point of contention, but Vampire Game looks like he's just trying to... Well, no, he's running out. He's leaving. He's trying to get back into his vehicle and trying to find someplace. Benchu was holding a different angle. He's actually just on the steps. Doesn't spot that. Could hear the bike fall away, which will give them the information on where the last teammate is now going. But Vega featured earlier, and that was still a struggle.
That was a rough push by Vega there. I mean, they got held out by essentially 2 players.
Really, essentially 1, actually, because it was just Benchu. Yeah. Juxi did come in with a nice nade.
Yeah, the nade is what kind of killed it. Oh, my goodness.
17 Gaming coming up on Victory 5. Landron does finally get a knock on QMCC, but a lot of health low on the other players as well. Show down to just 10. Shox, well, he's relatively healthy, but is he going to be able to fix this for his team? Nades come out. QMCC is going to get finished by it. Literally with now a kill, and now this is just a 2 versus 3. Shox watching the above ground, but it's a wrap from below. Spots 1, spots 2. He's going to pull away, using the car as an advantage, and pull back to his teammate. Gets a spray down. Dak takes a lot more damage than he delivers, and he does get knocked by Little Lee. Blue's coming in, though. It's going to force Victory 5 to push even further ahead and actually show he's out. He wanted no part of this.
Yeah, there's not really much he could have done at that point. Once Shox went down, Shu, the last player remaining, he needs to get out of here, try to get as many points as he can. Team 17 needs all the points they can get. New Circle has
no hard
Not a thing.
It swings down southeast across the river, which means all these teams that guessed north are unfortunately guessed wrong.
Well, you know, in fairness, this is 4th Circle. 4th Circle goes away from water as much as possible, so the hard shift isn't, you know, too surprising here. A lot of players gambling that maybe there was enough landmass there to the north that it would shift that way. That gamble not paying off.
Show in a fight between 8C. He just took out Raffi in the water, but Show knows that he needs a clear method away from this before. Genji, a little bit of a struggle trying to...
3 deep in the Dacia.
Yeah, trying to get out of this spot. A lot of smokes. Moleman does find Shown, so that is going to be Team 17 eliminated in 16th place. The Chinese team still struggling in the latter half of this tournament, but Xchris, 8C, and Moleman from Method still finally. Genji, another crash onto a building. This time it's held down by just 1. It's going to be Extreme2G. Subslayer is there on the north, but is he going to have the line of sight to assist? Subslayer, he's actually distracted by Optic because he takes out and flushes Hypoc. WTSG also trying to cross the river, are going to be coming across the 2 remaining members of M19. Example is lying there prone, but he is actually discovered real quick by Gaxi. Good job checking all their angles, watching for all the different snakes, and he is finished off. It is just Batulin left. On the crash, though, Simson was dropped.
I think XQuest heard those shots, though.
Yeah. Batulin really needs to worry. WTSG falling into the water. It's It's a bit rough trying to walk over there. Oh no, it's Victory 5. That's who they're coming over. They're coming over the bridge. Express sights on them. Shandian has to pull away to the left. Literally, is he going to be as successful? It does seem to be the case. Express having a bit of trouble landing their shots. Oh, but Bachelor in a lot of trouble himself is not moving.
No.
Oh.
He must be wearing a WTSG sweatshirt.
But he's so close. Vard should be able to smell him. Vega is removed in 15th by Pang. WTSG, they're actually going to be pushing up onto X-Quest, completely avoiding M19. Vard swinging out from below, but Gaxi and Vard both, actually no, Vard pushed up above. I misread that play, but the spray's coming through. WTSG, they're landing frags on everyone, not just Victory 5, but also X-Quest, Gaxi from below, proning down, super low health, but able to see below the cars, below the wall.
Playing that wall absolutely perfectly.
WTSG still 4 up. Gaxi needs to find a way to heal himself, but he doesn't feel comfortable doing it just yet. He wants to throw a nade on the side, so he gets eliminated 14 by Na'Vi. Elsewhere on the map, I believe that was the northwest. Yes, so here's Na'Vi. They only took 1 down, and that's an easy heal. WTSG still in a standoff versus X-Quest. It is just 2 in this building, but X-Quest do have a player on the hills south of them. Don't really have an angle into WTSG, however. WTSG, they don't need to push this so aggressively. They are in the circle, but they want to make sure that they clear out Z9 Max as well as AK. A nice nade, gets it down onto AK. It's just Z9 inside and puts his gun away at the wrong time.
Oh, no.
It is spotted out by Larson, and so now it's just going to be Cobra left south of them. WTSG have successfully stolen away this gas station, and just in time too, because the next circle has revealed itself.
Oh,
dead center, right on top of Knights.
Destroyed. Method just got destroyed by Genji. I think they tried to push the compound that they're equally sharing with Tainted Minds, and it did not work out in their favor. As Batulin, with his WTSG hoodie, going to be running along the riverbanks and away from danger for now.
Uba peeking below. They know they have to cross over this river to get inside. They found the one corner north of the river that was inside the previous circle, but that is no longer there. Trying to find the shots onto Optic.
They know they're there. Na'Vi does have to make their way across this bridge to get into where the next circle is. Sunslayer trying to get out, trying to rejoin his next teammate. Gets taken very low, but it's not going to be enough from Genji. The shots aren't going to land. He should be able to rejoin Extreme 2G here in the smokes.
It's not a strong spot, though.
No, it is not.
It may not even be a shack there. Oh, Cobra, though. Taking down 2 from WTSG and actually flushing one of them. No, that's stolen away by Pokemon, but gets another one.
No.
Cobra by himself. It's Landrin chiming in as well, so it's actually 3rd and 4th parties onto this, causing a lot of trouble for WTSG, but now it is just Miraku left, not in a comfortable position to try and revive any of his teammates just now. Maybe trying to go and get Gaxi to have them at least stay as 2. Car for cover, and they may have to use that for a quick retreat because pushing it on foot has so far been unsuccessful for them.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate for WTSG. Apparently 2, or at least 1, maybe 2, try to push into the next circle, trying to get to that sniper tower. Did not realize it was occupied by the last member of X-Quest, and now Na'Vi having a lot of trouble getting across the river themselves.
And a couple of shots, but yeah, it is definitely resistance in their way, and they have a minute before it's closing.
Got to pay the troll toll.
Yeah.
Optic trolls hanging out underneath the bridge, throwing the shots down.
Optic have to get into the circle themselves, though, so they can't waste too long trying to take care.
They need these points, though.
Ooh, Cobra's dealing damage to WTSG still, but Shade now gets finished by Hetror. Bahawaka taking the initiative to start swimming across. Don't know if he's trying to go the aggressive on Na'Vi or just trying to get into the water. I can't exactly tell. Hetror staying on the land using smokes, and this could be to allow Valiant and Bahawaka to then climb across, but are they aware that Poka is still standing behind the rock, and there is a small sliver of the northern beach on it. They spot him out, taking a lot of pressure. Poka's got to run out in the open, wants to escape from that. Loki now gets finished off. Kill stolen away by the Knights, who are still hanging out dead center. Out in the blue.
Oh, he gets
rough spot, yeah, rough spot. Na'Vi's eliminated. WTSG taking a lot. And I think they're actually eliminated as well immediately after.
Yep, out in 9th. Is not good for those boys. After they did pretty well earlier, you can see Optic has now claimed the top part of the riverbank, but they're going to have to move in as the new circle has popped and it is going to go southeast.
Yeah, this is a good position for the Knights if they had all 4. The problem is they only have 2, and this hilltop covered by forest trees is easy to defend if you have the manpower, but with just 2 of them, they may get strong teams alive coming in from the northwest, though, so it could be worse for them.
And once again, look who it is, all by themselves, 4 strong, once again on the northeast, MVP.
Yeah.
How do they keep getting away with this? How do they keep doing it? They're making it so far into the late game with 4 and finishing so strong.
Drayden pushing forward. Steps certainly heard by Extreme 2G. Going to be peeking on the side, but the shadow gives them away, but Extreme 2G still comes out on top. Immediately traded by Texas, though, and that's going to be Tainted Minds out in 8th. A potential revive, but he's going to want to deploy the smoke because Optic may be able to find the lines of sight onto this. I think they're safe for now. And Knights, just because of the threat of getting overrun on the hills north, they did wrap around south, may stick at this rock. But as you said, MVP continuing to push forward. Yeah, Genji out in 7th. It's not an awful follow-up to the 2nd place. Still going to be hanging a top spot. In the top
Optic a little split here. I'm not sure how I feel about this coming in from the northwest here. Valley 8 very much farther south than his squad mates. If he goes down, he is going to be out.
They want the information. They want to spread the vision they have to find a way to get in because they still have yet to get inside the circle.
And you can see the 3 members of Ghost still remaining have this compound, so they're feeling pretty good about things. Again, these are all teams that are right there on the cusp getting into this top 8 spot to get into next week's finals.
Valley 8 wants to use a smoke to try and get to that rock just ahead of him because he's still not in the circle. But Texas knows that he's there. Yeah, he's got to win this fight. Drayden and Texas with the crossfire. It's going to put a lot of pressure on him to force forward. Thankfully, Hetcher and Bahawaka have made their own ways through, and they could come with the assist. MVP slowly creeping forward. They're not going for a huge power play right now. They're fine just waiting it out. They have 4 alive, and so if they're able to keep that, they know they're going to have a huge advantage coming into the late game against any team that have lost any members. Blues closing in.
And here come Hetror and Bahawaka to try to provide a little bit of cover for Valley so he can get away from this rock. The shots are going to come in.
Look at the nades.
Using the smoke as much as he can, but he's going to be wide out in the open. He's going to try to shoot as much as he can before he dies. And he's going to go down to Texas, unfortunately. He's still going to go. Hopefully here he might be able to die to blue and prevent giving up the points. Yep, there you go.
Hey, look at that. 7 points. Not going the way of Knights. It's fair because they've actually stolen a fair number of kills this game, I feel. But the next circle has revealed itself. It's going to swing on to MVP once again. They have 4 strong, and they still have a compound inside. It's not all 4 in the compound. They're actually putting 2 on the northern slope of the hill as well to stop anyone from wrapping up that direction. So MVP once again with a huge advantage coming into this. However, they are not the only 4 team. Well, they are the only 4 team, but we still have Ghost with 3. But then Optic, Knights, Divine, both with 2, and then XQuest with 1. Cobra slowly sneaking in behind the 2 players of Optic.
This south side is going to be really, really important because MVP, right in the dead center of the circle when you're looking at the map, there is a little bit of a hill there. So MVP not really having a sight line to the south there from where their players Paying and Siege are currently. So whoever wins this from the south, going to be coming up onto a hillside. They just need to get across that road.
Problem is,
see Knights moving up already, wrapping.
Yeah, Knights are trying to wrap up and trying to clear out the rest of Optic because they know, well, they're not comfortable pushing in, it seems. Or at least want to make sure they're not about to get backstabbed and a trap laid by Optic, and so they're going to be pushing directly up, 1 at a time, space in between them. Texas getting up real close, right behind a tree, spotted out. The first Car 98 shot misses. Actually, a lot of shots do miss. Hetcher still trying to scan, using his ears to track Texas, swinging around the side. But here comes an Drayden. It's actually not going to connect. The rock is going to block that, but the spray comes through. Hetcher knocks Drayden. Trying to go for Texas. Nades come out. Hetcher dropped very, very low. Texas going to go for the re-peek. No, he's going to try and pull away. He's not confident in the fight anymore, because he is taken down very, very low. So is Hetcher, but Hetcher is going for the fight, and he gets the finish on that. In the meantime, McCoy did drop Jet on the opposite side. Yeah, is Cobra going to try and come in and try and clutch this out for his team?
Cobra, the last remaining player here for XQuest. He's just playing it quiet, but look at the south side. It's already popping off.
Yeah, both Ghost and Divine have to leave this compound, but it looks like MVP have been able to find lines of sight onto it. Divine, I think, they still have 1 left. It's just JJ Leo hiding in a bush. Is Allergen going to spot him? He throws a smoke. I think that's the wrong one that he meant to throw, or was it a full nade? I couldn't see. He is getting pushed, though.
We ran right on top of him.
Is he getting pushed? There we go. Finally discovered by McCoy. There we go. Go stay as 2. That would have been brutal for them. if they just walked over JJ Leo, but look at Cobra slowly sneaking forward. Is he going to spot Baja? The blue is dealing damage. He may feel pressure to stand up and give his position away, but right in front of him is another prone player. He doesn't spot him. They don't fight. Oh, there we go. Finally gets him. Misses the shot, but oh, thank God he corrects it. He finishes and gets the flush on Baja Waka as well. Doesn't know where the last player of Optic is. And he actually just ended up walking closer in the heel. Hetror, if he went aggressive, could find him. Suspects that he's behind that tree, but doesn't want to go too aggressive because he knows that he is Optic's only hope right now. And so he's going to train his eyes in that direction, but he's not going to try and go super aggressive. He still needs to get into the circle, which has gone on top of the hill just to his right.
And MVP have now wrapped around. They've got position to keep an eye on the two members of Ghost. They're going to have a hard time crossing this street whenever they have to. You see Pain and Siege just holding it down, waiting for them to pop their heads up. These are the last two men from Ghost, and then you have the solo of Hetror and Cobra. Hetror knows exactly where Cobra is. I'm not sure Cobra is aware of where Hetror is, but this is looking like another win for MVP pretty easily.
Sending the shots on Ghost. Ghosts are being forced out, and Siege finds a headshot onto McCoy. In the covering fire necessary to crawl in, and so I think he's able to find his way in undiscovered by MVP. McCoy also gives his life away to the blue. But look at this, MVP 4 strong against 3 solo players. 2 of them wrapped up in a little bit of a standoff of their own. They recognize how strong of a position they are in. Blind frag comes through. It's just not far enough to land onto Cobra.
This is so huge, though. It can't be understated how big these placement points are going to be for Optic and for Ghost, who are fighting to get into that top 8. XQuest as well still has a shot to get in. Not sure if I think they were on the right side of the leaderboard last I checked. So all of these teams really need this. They want to survive as long as possible. It's pretty much a foregone conclusion at this point that MVP can come out on top of this. But 3 solo players, depending on how this plays out, it always could end up in a 1v1 scenario at the very, very end.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen. We've seen it happen several times.
They almost threw last game, but I think they're in an even stronger position this time around, so I can't imagine that's going to happen unless Allergen, Hetror, or Cobra come up huge. And still, Hetror and Cobra staring each other down on the left side of your screen. They're too involved with each other to really go on the aggressive towards MVP. Nades being thrown out.
This is so patient by MVP.
Yeah.
You know, most of the time, a lot of times you see these situations play out. You see a 4-man squad. They just start wrapping around and start looking around. The blue pushing in. We got the snakes are crawling. Cobra is going to take blue damage again. You need to have as much health as you can here. You can't afford to take that blue damage.
MVP are wrapping down, so Allergen may be the next to die. It's all on timing, but no, Allergen gets spotted. He gets one, can't finish the kill, though. Immediately traded by Alpaca. Still a 4th place finish for Ghost is good. Cobra and Hetror are still slinking right next to each other, and MVP on their northern push. Gonna find Hetror first. No, Hetror finds one, but a chance in this. Indeed, he is gonna get the spray down, but a little bit damage for the blue. Has to run back out to get around the tree, and that's gonna give MVP the advantage. Another victory for them.
10 kills this time coming in for MVP, but once again, getting a position in center of the circle, holding that position, playing it so strong. This isn't going to be the big, massive kill count that they got last game. XQuest making their way into 2nd place with 3 kills. Optic with 5, 6, 7 in 3rd.
Yeah.
Ghost with another 2 in a 4th place. This is huge for the